My beautiful geniuses. So today we're looking at the parables or the stories from the sacred Judeo-Christian scriptures, the sacred writings, and I thought we'd start from the book of Matthew, and we're going to be looking at the parable of the two sons, or the story of the two sons. Now, I'm on LinkedIn quite a lot, which is a business site. So I could really relate to this because we look a lot at business, and I have a brilliant business mentor called Mr. Gary V. I'm sure you've seen him on YouTube. And also, Ryan Reynolds and Justin Walsh. They're all on YouTube. And you can join us on LinkedIn as well if you want mentoring in business. The guys are amazing. They give up their time freely. But anyway, that's a bit down the rabbit hole. But I thought it explained this parable really well because we look at business and we look at all sorts to do with that. So Yeshua Messiah, or Lord Jesus, was very relevant when he talks about business and money, and he relates it to the people so they understood. So we're talking about the parable of the two sons. So basically it's in Matthew 21 verses 28 if you want to look it up. And Yeshua was talking and he said, "What do you think?" Now remember, he's talking to people who are very religious, who think that they know everything, that they've got it down pat, that they're just perfect. And of course, remember, we've learned in our other YouTube videos that no one is perfect, that we're only made perfect when we trust in Yeshua Messiah, aka Lord Jesus, for our forgiveness. And from then on, he starts teaching us the way, and he gives us the gentle dove to guide us and to help us. So remember, Yeshua Messiah is talking to people who really think they are perfect. So it's a bit of a tough audience to crack. But he does it very well. He tells this story. He said there are two sons, and basically the father says to the first son, he's quite a wealthy dad, a wealthy businessman. Think about President Donald Trump and his sons. And he says to his first son, "Please go and work in the vineyard or the fields and supervise the men or something or what." And the guy says, "No, Dad, I want to stay and play my PlayStation and have some crisps or chips and watch Super Bowl. I can't be bothered. I got enough money. Why should I bother with that?" And then, so he says to the other son, "Well, will you go and work in my vineyard or my fields or my office, supervising the staff?" And the other son says, "Yes, of course, Dad, no problem. I'll be there like a bear. Let me just go fill my Bugatti up with fuel." So anyway, the first son then changed his mind. He was sitting there in his comfy room with the aircon on, and he thought, hang on a minute, if it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't have all these wonderful things. So boom, gets in his Tesla, off he goes, parks his Cybertruck outside the office, there like a bear working all day. But the other son, well, he's got in his Bugatti, and he's cruising around on the way to work, and then suddenly he sees a beach, and there's also a cake by the ocean. They're having a big party. So he decides, hang on a minute, I'm going to go party on the beach, work and wait for another day. And he goes and he spends his time on the beach. So yeah, then Yeshua Messiah. Now basically what I'm doing is I'm telling the parable. And you can read it yourself in Matthew 21 verses 28. I'm telling it in a way that relates to you. And Yeshua was telling it in a way that relates to his audience when he was talking about fields and vineyards. But it's basically the same thing. The first son said he wouldn't go work, and then he did. The second son said he would go work, and then he didn't. So basically, everyone's sitting there thinking, well, what does this mean? And then Yeshua Messiah, aka the Lord Jesus, summarizes it very well. He said, basically, you people who think you're so perfect, you promise you're going to do the right thing, and then you never do it. You're just hypocrites. But the people who have a bad reputation, like say, and then he uses the the example of the tax collectors. Think about Chancellor Rachel Reeves. She's having a bit of a tough time of it at the moment. People like her, people like prostitutes, people who sleep around. He said those are the sort of people who realize, hang on a minute, I've been really blessed by God. I'm going to turn back to him. I'm going to go work in his vineyard. I'm going to go work for him because he's given me a lot. He's given me his own son to die for me so that I don't have to be this person. I'm loved unconditionally. I'm forgiven. So basically, Lord Jesus, or aka Yeshua Messiah, was saying to his audience, you think you're so perfect, but you actually not, because you don't understand the real point of God and of why I'm here, Yeshua Messiah, to take the punishment for you all. Instead, you're trying to do it in your own strength, and it's not working. But as for the other people who you would see on the headlines of newspapers and so on, who really have not get up to nonsense. I mean, think of Luigi Mangione and, well, even myself, I messed around with too many guys online. And I used to smoke, but thankfully I gave it up. It's for people like us that Yeshua came to die for, to save, to love unconditionally. So yeah, peace. Make of it what you will, but you're all welcome to the party. You're all welcome to work in the fields, in the vineyards, in the office of the wonderful Father who gave his Son for us all. Peace. Love you.